What's wrong with the clapping kid?
He's doing that to sync the audio. It's
Sure.
real Hollywood stuff.
Are
I don't
you
want to
sure?
explain it all. I know,
It's exhausting.
If you have a clapper. I used to have a clapper.
What are you getting at? This
I'm not
porn
getting-
jokes?
I'm not getting it now, bro.
All right, welcome back to Jeff
Never even
FM, the
seen
most
porno.
innovative podcast in the world. Today we're coming to you live from a cigarette boat. Is that what this is called, cigarette boat?
It's technically a yacht.
This is a very special episode today because we have my dear friend Corey Shapiro, a.k.a. Vintage Frames.
Damn, I got an AKA. You hear that? You have an AKA? I'm going to call you Dan.
We also have Matt, who I will keep you anonymous. I'll let you talk about what you feel comfortable sharing, but Matt gave us this
Boat.
lovely
Yeah.
set for our shoot today.
We're not really doing it
I'm a
like
drug
that.
dealer.
He is not.
A drug dealer.
He is not doing podcast rentals on this boat, so don't ask. And
No.
don't DM me to work for me because this is not what we do all the time. You know, Steven's actually struggling for cash right now. He's strapped, you know.
Dan.
He's an operation.
First things first, before I let you explain our relationship, I'm very proud of you guys. Obviously, you're very successful entrepreneurs, businessmen.
Thank you.
I'm a YouTuber
Yeah.
and podcaster. But
gang.
All I want is a guy like that in my life. Just to let you know.
that's why I got
I
three of
don't
them.
like just to put random fucking noises. That's all I want. Like when I walk my dog, when the dog shits, just to have that.
We brought our innovative technology here to the boat. So we'll see. We'll see if it works. We'll see if this even gets recorded. But Corey, what I'm trying to say is
Yes.
you
Right.
got me started as a YouTuber. None of this would be possible if it
It's
wasn't
true.
for you.
It's true.
And I know I say that to a bunch of people, you know, but to you I actually mean it. Because back in the day when you were doing your thing, social media had just started.
Yes.
And you, like, I think we were just on Twitter at the time. I was kind of a celebrity barber. You were a very successful stylist.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it sunglasses, but that's what the regular people say.
Right.
You go by frames.
Spectacles.
Which is like spectacles.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes me sound more educated.
So should we get Steven in the pair?
Dan.
Are we changing his name?
Steve.
What? Dan.
It's going to confuse the audience if you change the name now because there's already a diehard audience here.
For Steve?
Some people call it a cult, but
Yeah,
we'll
bro.
go by audience, but they are,
A cult.
yes.
I like that.
So Steven, we'll keep his regular name, but I think we get him in some sunglasses.
Stefan?
Yeah. How do you feel about being a redhead?
Redhead?
Yeah.
Good.
Would you
Good.
call that red hair?
I think it's redhead.
I don't have red hair. I have brown
Dan,
hair.
you're a fucking redhead, Matt.
It's not red.
Do you want a pair of sunglasses?
done.
There we go, dude. That's what I'm
Appreciate it,
saying.
man. Thank you.
Now, is this disrespectful
No,
that I am
nothing's
wearing gas station sunglasses after all
No.
we've been through together?
Yes.
You and I. We've spent tons of money on unnecessary designer
Things.
purchases
Mhm.
back when I was a cocaine dealer down here in Miami.
Balenciaga
True.
sneakers.
And now I've come a long way. I've
Yeah.
gone Balenciaga sneakers,
That's
way
right.
too many pairs
Way
of the
too
same
many.
shoe.
That's right. I used to come and steal them. I used to steal the Louboutins.
And
from
you
the
would
crib.
inspire this behavior
I
of
would.
me spending my drug money
I would.
on
well,
designer
I
stuff.
busted my ass for the clean money while you fucking sold drugs.
Yeah.
I'm
Respect.
with it, man.
Now,
Dan.
you took me from being a barber in a barbershop
I did.
to we had a great relationship with Amber Rose. She actually I met on my own, and that's how we
right.
met.
I think you had a better relationship than her than me, but yeah, I met Amber, and Amber wanted me to open a sunglass shop with her
Mm-hmm.
after her Kanye split.
Yeah.
So I get flown to LA, and we're filming a pilot called Behind Her Shades with Amber Rose. Right?
Oh yeah, we shot that pilot
Shot a
for
pilot.
Oxygen
Yeah.
Network.
I don't even know what network it was for, but
It didn't
I
get
got
picked
there
up.
and I thought it was very
Lifestyle
Hollywood.
Channel for women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the premise of the show was that Amber had a store with me, which she didn't have, and Jeff was dating her best friend.
I was
whose
like the
name
Scott Disick of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was dating her
were.
identical. Like she looked like her, but they weren't really
Didn't
sisters.
look
But
like
they
her at
said that
all.
they were sisters. They both had shaved heads,
Yeah.
and they're both Cape Verdean. They did look. They
didn't
resembled
look
each other.
anything.
I'll put a picture up here and let
Okay,
the audience be
you
the
can,
judge.
but
We have that
didn't look like-
technology.
yeah.
But this is my ex that cheated on me when I was arrested in Miami Dade County Jail. So we won't get into that.
Yeah, so we filmed the show,
Mm-hmm.
and then we thought that we were going to
Be reality stars.
Be reality stars, and we weren't. So then I had to go back to work, and then Jeff was like, "You know what? We should open a barbershop." And I was like, "Absolutely, we should."
Wait,
open
there's a whole bunch that happened in
Yes,
between
there's-
there.
okay,
We're
what
skipping
was
ahead.
that?
We'll
Yes.
get to that.
Okay.
I know you're pissed off at me for
I'm not
this.
pissed off.
We'll get to that.
I'm in debt.
So we do the show. I take this opportunity, that Oxygen paid for my flight to LA. I just loved LA, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to move out here, and I'm going to get in the marijuana business.
Right.
So I did that, dabbled in that for a while.
Right.
Also, Wiz Khalifa and Amber had just started dating on the show. I remember us.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't have a lot of memory. I was drinking a
Right.
lot. I got hit in the head with a crane.
Mm-hmm.
So I have little glimpses of memory. And I remember Wiz and I getting mic'd up, and I'm like, all right, I got to have like a small talk conversation with this guy on this Oxygen show.
Right.
He's a rapper, but he's not like a gangster rapper.
Nope.
So I didn't really know how to approach it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what do you like doing for fun, man? I was just having the worst conversation with Wiz, but we ended up hitting it off, and then we went on tour with them. I was giving haircuts to we would like Big Sean and Mac Miller.
Right. But you remember how we got there?
No.
So we
Oh
met.
fuck! It just hit me how we got
Dude.
there. We had to drive
We had
ourselves.
to fucking drive there. So we had this little redheaded prick. Not you.
So I would always have like a photographer, and you
Well,
would
he was
always have-
he was my photographer, and you stole him.
You're right.
And then you took his counterpart, Nev.
Nev.
Neve.
Nerf.
Do I just steal my employees from my
Well,
friends?
I never owned that one. Not that pardon me. I feel like we were driving from Burlington or some shit, right?
Yeah, Burlington, Maine.
And it was very, very late. And I had a really bad car, that Hearst-looking shit, the HHR.
And we had to sleep because we're the talent. We
Right.
got to show up
Right,
and
we
be
had to
on in the
sleep.
morning, you know?
And I woke up to him taking us on head on.
Charles
into-
William Photography.
Yeah,
At the
Charles William
time,
Piltier.
Yes. He was driving,
Yeah.
and
He-
was a little bit of a goofball. He was very incompetent, but very talented photographer.
The most.
One of the best photographers I've ever worked with.
Except
And
he would never give you the work.
he would disappear with the memory cards and go
He
on
would
a
shoot.
bender after.
And then, like, you couldn't find this fucking prick. But yeah, so he fell asleep at the wheel, and I happened to have woken up. Jeff was in the back. I was in the passenger seat. I let him drive, and I literally happened to have woken up as we were going head first into a truck. Yeah, swear to God. And I swerved the car and woke him up, and literally, like, we for real almost died.
We did a 360
Yeah.
on the freeway. Now I told you guys this story.
Yeah,
you
on the
probably
road
don't
trip.
believe it. Yeah. Now we have
Yeah,
Corey's
no,
with
we-
us, so
Yeah.
I have a second witness that can vouch for me. This
I thought you were
story's
just
real.
lying.
I saved
We're
Jeff's life.
on the freeway now. There's cars on both sides of us whizzing by, and
Yeah.
whizzing. You know, look at
Yeah.
this. As
Yeah.
we're following Wiz Khalifa,
Yeah.
cars whizzing by, and he slams on the brake because he doesn't want to hit the truck. We do a 360 and end
No,
up
he-
right back in the
I
lane.
pulled the car.
Oh, you did?
I woke up and he was sleeping. I woke up and I pulled the fucking thing, and literally we swerved into, and we almost, knock on wood, but we almost died, like for real.
Yeah, so
died.
not only did you start my YouTube
I
channel,
saved
you
your
also
fucking
saved my life.
You owe me a lot.
Yeah, if it wasn't for you,
YouTube, there would be no Dan.
So y'all never met on Jersey Shore?
No.
No, Steven, no.
Steven, I'm going to attack you now. Okay?
Yeah, fuck, man.
Fucking Steven.
Stefan.
Where
you
were
were
you
saying
this
a
whole
shocker.
time?
You were
Where-
saying a show, and I was
Fucking-
like, wasn't you
We were
on
doing our
Jersey
own
Shore?
version of Jersey
No,
Shore, but it didn't get
yeah.
picked up. We
Yeah.
failed.
We really failed. We failed at a pilot.
You didn't give the details of the show. I was
It
just
was
curious.
bad. It was bad. Well, I mean, we had a good time. We did.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so we went to, I think it was, we went to go meet Wiz and Big Sean and Mac. We went there, we did our shit, and like at the time, I had to deal with World Star, and World Star was just popping off. Q was alive, rest in peace, Q. And we would do these videos, and we would put them up on YouTube, and it was like really the first, not YouTube, maybe YouTube actually.
They
we did
were
it on YouTube.
shared. They would
They were
share
shared
a
on
YouTube
YouTube.
link as a post on World Star,
That's right.
and that's how you kind of were like the initial YouTuber here in this situation, because you were
I
doing
was.
these videos with Stuntman, where it wouldn't be dialogue; it would just
No.
be like the
Us
artist
serving
song, and it was like a nice montage, of like nicely cinematic shots of him
Yeah.
styling and picking out frames for people, and then we started incorporating some haircuts,
Yes.
clothes shopping,
Yes.
sneaker shopping, stuff like that. Look at how far we've all come.
Yeah.
Matt comes from nothing. He
That's
sold companies, made tons of
You
cash.
can say, I don't care.
Yeah.
Owner of Dope.
Yeah.
In a store on Fairfax.
Yeah.
Yep. It's one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's got perfectly symmetrical nipples, a boat, and a model wife.
So you're very good at finding things.
So we found things.
You are a master at finding
Rare shit.
rare, luxurious, expensive
Treasure
items.
Things. Yeah.
He lays in silk sheets, and not a king bed, but one of those like shack size beds
Yeah.
with all silk,
Vacuum.
with his shirt off,
That's it.
with his gold chains on, and he
That's it.
just is a great searcher of the internet. That's
Yeah.
exactly how
Well,
I put it.
I'm a searcher
He's a search
of
artist.
rare things.
What's your
Yeah.
average day like? Like, what is your average day like? What do you do?
I don't think there is an average day
There's
in
no
the life of
average
Corey
day.
Shapiro.
Who the fuck is this guy? Yo, he speaks out of turn, the whole shit. This
He's my
motherfucker.
right-hand man.
This mother. Dan.
You know how-
you're happy about. It's the first time I've seen you smile, Dan.
You know how in the movie Blow, it was
Yeah.
Boston George and
Tuna.
Diego?
Tuna.
Oh,
This is
Tuna.
tuna.
At
This is-
first it started
Don't
with
give
Tuna.
him Diego. He's Tuna.
No.
But for
Diego's
now,
a
you're
bad.
Tuna.
You know how many times he brings up this movie Blow?
You still haven't
love
watched
that
it
movie.
yet,
Well,
and
so
it
we-
pisses me off.
we
Dude,
kinda-
what the fuck is wrong with you?
So I
Guys,
never
I'm
did-
not.
I
Sky
never
Bases
did-
is
I'm
life
not 30. I'm
off
21. I don't know what
What
Blow
do you mean
is.
21? I don't care how old you are. It's a classic. It's not like
Blocking the main host
Casablanca.
I'm
camera.
blocking the
Sorry.
main camera. I'm sorry,
okay.
Jeff.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, guys at home. Jeff
They
doesn't
don't
want
see
me
it.
to
Look at
block
this
it.
camera. This camera.
Which camera?
This is you.
Listen, I don't mean to block Jeff's nipples, but that's what's really going on here. As soon as I told Jeff, I'm like, yo, I'm working out a bit. Took off his shirt.
No,
Fucking-
that's not true.
You're like a swimsuit model.
You're the only one here with your shirt off.
Corey did Pilates once.
I did
and
Pilates
he's-
once, and I'm
Show
trying to show off
Oscar.
my
Get a
legs,
shot
and
of
this
Oscar.
prick,
Here, give me
this
the
prick
camera.
lubed himself up. Oscar, you're gonna get it. There you go.
That's
there
not
you
true.
go.
That's not
Hooray.
true.
Hooray!
Oscar has his shirt off.
Wait, what happened to this Mac Miller story?
Oh, the
We'll
Mac
get
Miller
to the
stuff.
Mac. Well, you want to talk about Mac Miller because Kyle is a huge fan
You
of
a Mac Miller fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
He
So-
doesn't know anything. He doesn't remember anything about Mac Miller.
I
and
was
just-
drunk.
Bro, he was
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I used to cut Mac Miller's hair, and then didn't say anything else.
He was my first
true.
big celebrity I shot for
know, I
dope.
believe
Oh
that.
yes, you were in fucking Toronto with us. So
I just want to know how you like.
now
met,
I
how
remember
that
you were.
worked.
So we went to Toronto because Mac was on tour
Yeah.
with Wiz.
Yeah. He was
So
opening.
he's opening for
Big
Wiz?
Sean and Mac were opening for Wiz on the Under the Influence tour.
Yes, and they went to Toronto, and we did come because at the time I was also selling the jewelry, and I remember. So we set out all the jewelry for Wiz, but then Mac came in and like literally bought every piece of like the vintage Chanel and all that shit.
Yeah.
It was kind of a complete thing because what we needed to do was capture their attention for long enough to also do these videos, right?
Yeah.
So basically, Jeff would come with me, not only because he was my friend, but we would have this like kind of full, all-encompassing service where I would sell them the glasses and the chains at the time, and Jeff would cut their hair. So it would be a captive audience, right? Because you definitely had their attention for a certain amount of time. And so that was kind of the shtick. And when Jeff was in Canada for the first time, I don't know if I'm skipping too far into this, but Jeff was like, I always want my own barbershop. And I was like, cool. I want my...
I think.
Am I skipping too?
No, you were filming videos on this,
Yes.
and that's kind of like the start
Jeff
of me
got-
being a barber on YouTube
Yeah.
with celebrities and artists.
And he
whatever.
realized he was pretty, right? Because Jeff's a pretty
He's
guy.
a good-looking guy.
Of course.
That's not what I realized. I realized that I could run a show. I should be interviewing these people. They already need something out of me. Let me get something out of them. And I'm not trying to charge them cash.
Right.
I want exposure.
I want the exposure.
I want to defame
Right.
their careers.
Later on
and
in
ruin their
life,
image.
you and your friends call it clout, right?
Clout.
Right.
Yes. Back then we were early
Yeah.
clout chasers, businessmen.
No, we were dot connectors. And without people like myself and Jeff, there would be no Dan, no Kyle. There was no one that lived off internet fame, really, right?
I don't know anybody that had an internet career.
No,
I
nobody.
think when Vine came about, that was after, and
Yeah.
then that's when
I
people
kn-
started getting brand deals.
You guys are
Yeah.
old.
I didn't even have Instagram at
You're
the
older
time.
than Jeff.
No, I'm not.
Well, hold on. Let's start. So Jeff got given a couple names. Jeff turned to just
American
at Jeff on his own. So originally he was
American
before American Jeff,
Okay.
which was a Paul Labonte. He was Jeffzilla 2000.
Oh, we don't have to get into
Oh,
that.
God.
And then Paul Labonte, Paul 107,
His gamer tag.
gave him American Jeff because Jeff was from
I like
America.
I like
right?
American Jeff.
And then Jeff.
No, that
Yeah.
was given to me in the barbershop, and then I think
American
it came
Jeff?
back. Yeah, because
No.
I
That was
worked
a
in
Paul
the,
Labonte.
Lies.
Definitely.
Yeah,
when
you're
we were
lying.
staying at your apartment, because we came and crashed at your apartment in that place where you were cutting Purple's hair.
Oh, okay.
What, that like frat
the,
house.
The name American Jeff came from because I worked in a New York barbershop. It was like
don't believe him.
It was in the hood, and I would come in, a little white kid with my school books and my quarterback neck. They said I had a neck of a quarterback, All-American Jeff, and they called me All-American Jeff, and then it was shortened to just American Jeff, and then it got shortened even more to just Jeff.
That was a big jump.
What was wrong with Jeffzilla 2000?
It was a great one. It's to be honest, it's actually still in my phone.
I'm embarrassed of it.
It is when Jeff calls me, I get Jeffzilla 2000.
Jeffzilla 2000 is still my YouTube channel name till this day. My main channel, the Barbershop one, not Jeff FM.
Can you come here for a second?
What? Oh. No! Corey!
What do you mean, oh shit?
I get so many DMs asking me where I got those, and I don't remember. I can't even answer it.
Well,
it was some gas station in Barstow on the way to Vegas.
You want us to get them?
That's fucking.
It sank down to the bottom of the ocean.
Are you gonna dive in?
Sharks,
Yeah.
sharks.
Look at this. Yeah, dive in, Matt. You got this.
Sharks?
Oh, didn't you just say like 20 people got?
There we go!
He's so hammered. He's not gonna find those fucking things.
They're gone.
No
Oh,
way.
you got those.
That's
Look
a
at this
receipt, bro. That's not the glasses.
They're gone.
What?
Yeah. Bro, they're gone. They're gone. It's okay. He gave me a much cooler pair. Oh wow.
Yo, shark.
Corey, what are these?
There's a shark.
It's not a shark.
What the?
Bro, these just made my vision better.
I know.
Why can I
I don't
see?
know. Matt just wanted to jump in the ocean.
I
this
know
whole
that,
time,
but who
you
gives
know?
a fuck? We got his boat. We're good. We're doing the show.
Tell the captain.
Why do I see clearer now through these glasses than I did without glasses on?
Matt, I mean, Jeff.
Are these
I've always
polarized or
been-
something?
No. Photochromatic.
Photochromatic.
When you look up, like, it's a different color. What is the? Is this for a shade?
That's vertigo. You should get that checked out by an authorized physician.
How do these look?
They look great.
Am I back to my old Miami Jeff ways?
So I never did cocaine in my life.
I don't use cocaine.
I like
Dana
that.
White.
I like that.
What?
That's great. Matt, damn, dude, that was honestly, man, that was great. But you got a
Thank you,
receipt
Matt.
instead.
He gave me another pair
I gave him another pair, that's
that
fine.
feel way more expensive.
You came up, okay?
I agree. I do feel way better in these.
You should.
I like wearing the other ones because they make me look stupid. And
I'll
it
make
goes with
another
my
pair
whole-
for you.
I'm more of like a comedy, goofy guy now.
You're
I
not
don't
a
take myself
goofy guy.
too serious.
You're a steal your girl type guy, right,
That's
Dan?
not true. I have a woman in
I've
my
actually
life
been-
now
Yeah.
Oh,
that I'm talking to.
that's incredible.
We're not
Shout out to her.
official yet. All right, a quick word from today's sponsors. Today's episode is sponsored by DoorDash. What do you want to eat tonight? Maybe you want a home-cooked favorite like lasagna. My mother just made lasagna, and we got all the ingredients delivered right to the house. She didn't have to drive down to the store. All thanks to DoorDash. We got home-cooked lasagna for me and all my boys. We could get a shot after. Get what you want to eat right now and right at your door with DoorDash. Along with the restaurants you love, you can now get groceries and other essential items delivered with DoorDash. Get drinks, snacks, and other essential household items in under an hour. Craving late night ice cream? Forget that one key ingredient for dinner, or maybe you just need to stock up for the week. With DoorDash, you get everything in one app. With over 300,000 partners, you can support your neighborhood go-tos or choose from your favorite restaurants like Popeyes, Chipotle, and even Cheesecake Factory. Ordering is easy and items will be left safely outside your door when you choose the contactless delivery drop-off. For a limited time, our listeners get 25% off. Did he walk in front of the camera? Dad, set etiquette. For a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and zero delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you order DoorDash and enter code JeffFM. That's 25% off up to a $10 value and zero delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code JeffFM. Subject to change, terms apply. All right, now back on with the show.
So where were we before Matt decided to? Mac Miller.
Mac Miller, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think there was much to the story other than we cut his hair, sold him some stuff. Mac was a good friend of mine. We almost got killed going to see him on the way to Vermont. But in this whole grand scheme of things, we created Stuntman, who was Charles William Peltier,
Our content guy.
our content guy, who would
Back
never
in 2009,
was very rare.
10.
I mean, it was very rare. And what was even more rare about our content guy is that he would never give us our content. He would just film it. He would film it. The picture would be excellent. We'd look on his camera. We'd high five the whole shit.
Yeah, can't wait to get these.
And I'm like, this is going to make our whole shit. And then he would never show up. Except for when I had my kid, my first kid, Cash. He showed up at the birth, and I made him film the kid coming out of, like, he was in the room.
Yeah.
Out of the vagina?
Out of the vagina. He got the out of the vagina
That's
pics. Yeah.
that's a cool thing too. And you also skipped over that you named your son Cash, which
I
is
did.
like a real celebrity thing to do. You know,
I did. I
When
named my
you
son
start
Cash.
that's
yeah.
a cool name.
Yeah. So in the meantime of like being, developing this eyewear company and developing with Jeff, there was many things that went on. One aspiration was the barbershop because Jeff was an excellent barber at the time.
A good salesman,
And a good
decent
salesman.
barber, but I was able to
people
sell.
felt connected. Jeff and I discussed about having a barbershop, right? Do you know this, Dan?
Yeah, well, I'm
You know this?
listening.
Oh, you're listening, but you don't know it.
No, he's
Okay.
All right,
absorbing
we're
it
going to
as,
teach you here.
as
So
we go, like the
Jeff
listeners are.
decided that we were going to have a barbershop. And I think it was maybe a little bit more sober than Jeff. So in true entrepreneurial fashion, I went and bought a building in Canada. I took this idea of having a barbershop that was made out of Versace because Versace didn't realize it was cool at the time. They were just they were like on the come up, right? Like they were kind of getting a hold
And
of
yellow
the fact-
gold was in.
Yeah, but it was coming in, but it was still like kind of faux pas for like wearing it. It was not like every dude and their mother was wearing it. So I was like, fuck it, let's build this barbershop. So Jeff and I spoke about it. I went out and bought a building, renovated it, built a barbershop, fully out of actual Versace home, spent a sick amount of money on it. And I was like, yo, Jeff, this barbershop is ready. And Jeff's like, cool. He's like, but, I can't go to Canada. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean you can't go to Canada? Not only have I know nothing about barbering, zero, but I've built this barbershop.
In Canada.
In Canada for us.
At the time, I had 6 felonies on my record,
A lot
and
of
you
felonies.
can't get into Canada with 1 felony.
They're
even.
terrible.
And it wasn't
They
even
don't like
bad
felonies.
They
felonies.
stopped at the border.
They don't like felonies.
Like my felonies were like kind of like
No, they're pretty
whatever,
big deals.
You know,
They were real felonies.
we don't have to get into that, but they're
You were-
expunged now. Most of them. I only have
I don't
1
have-
felony that I'm working on getting expunged, and I'm not a felon anymore.
No.
So, if you want to do it again,
So I had embarked on this barber shop, which I knew nothing
He
about.
opens another location.
home and no more.
Waiting.
Still don't
Yeah,
show up.
I've learned my lesson. Yeah, thanks for that. And actually, funny enough, in this whole barbershop means, at the time, the barbershop was called Notorious because it had like the Versace ring and the whole thing.
Cool name.
Matt owned. Thank you very much, Dan.
Very cool name.
Dan, give me a high five, buddy.
Way
And
cooler than
in the
this.
whole thing, we had Matt, who owned Dope at the time,
Which is a dope name.
was his dope name, and
As you said.
Well, but hold on.
They
Matt-
made goddamn millions of this brand.
Matt really got the name Dope. He really fought for that trademark. Matt actually did a collaboration with Dope, and we would set up the barbershop in trade shows, hoping Jeff would show up. And you know who didn't show up?
Jeff.
Jeff. Never showed up. Even in his own country, just never showed up. Well, it's not true, actually. He showed up at the trade shows. He just never showed up to cut hair or on time or anything of the sort.
Why was that?
But fast forward, so we go to our... Yeah, he was... Yeah.
Why?
What do you mean?
At the time, I had my priorities all messed up. I was interested in chasing fast money.
Do you
I
think
was
you're better than
selling
everybody?
weed, I was growing weed. Yeah, at the
Yeah,
time
you
I
know
thought
you're
I was
better
better
than
than
everyone
everybody. And now it's even worse, Kyle.
Pre-accident ego.
Post-accident, ego's even worse. I feel like I'm the reincarnation of... I'm not going to say it here, but I came back to life. I should be dead, and I'm here for a reason.
Well, let's go.
I have an audience that
Loves
obeys
you.
my orders. They listen to me. They come to me for advice.
It's a cult leader.
I think it's
So
great.
I didn't say
What
you
is
did.
advice?
You
We're
know?
teaching about
He's
the...
skilled at fighting, so he's just
Dan,
like,
we're teaching about the history here, bro.
I'm listening.
So that you can be a better guy.
Steven is Dan, by the way. For the people confused, Steven is his name has been changed to Dan.
Dan.
Like Corey.
Listen, so now we kind of like fast forward to, at the time, the like cool shit to go to if you would own a brand, which Jeff did not own at the time, was Magic or Agenda. But what was the thing? in
The
the
trade
middle?
shows in Las Vegas.
Project, right?
Project.
In Las Vegas. So now we have the photographer, content creator, who has never given us content,
Yes.
right? We have Matt, who is on his own kind of thing, but comes into the mix,
Mhm.
and we love Matt. We have Gina, who is his lovely wife.
Shout out baby G.
So now we have this whole thing, and then we cue another, the most important character in the whole mix was Cody.
Cody, El Padrino. You guys
El
know him.
Padrino.
So now we have Cody in the mix.
Rest in peace.
And Cody and Jeff are
The old version of him
yeah,
died.
Yeah,
That's
the
true.
old version died.
He's reincarnated
Yeah,
as
no.
well.
He is. I
Not without many pictures of him and the Aryan Nation somehow from jail. But
He did go live. He would get his iPhone in prison,
This dude had
and
like
he would.
pizzas and dogs and
I would,
In
I would
and out.
get, honestly, I would get
No, I
FaceTimes
did
from
it.
Cody, and he would be like like throwing up like gang signs, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, Cody, you good? Yeah, nah.
Right, he's
But now,
tough. I won't fuck with
but Cody is an incredible human being now. So this is now the new entourage. We have Jeff, we have Cody, and Jeff and Cody are like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Not only do they look like them, they act like them.
And we had a briefcase full of drugs.
And
like
they had a
them.
briefcase full of drugs.
That's very
and
true.
a dog named Nerf.
Nerf's been through. Nerf's
Nerf's
15 and a half still
fucking
alive.
OG.
Nerf's really been through
Shout
it.
out
So,
Nerf.
so now we have Cody who's brought into the mix. We're at this trade show. Actually, the first trade show, we get brought there for free for fun. So Matt had his brand, which is Functioning Dope. He moved from Indiana to L.A., opened on Fairfax. Him and I got involved business-wise. He had Dope Couture. I had my first time coming to Vegas, and we go to Vegas, and these Vegas parties are like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and my brand only looks like it makes hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't think it was
Fake it till you make it.
we, at that point. So me and Jeff, and we had this kid Chad, and Chad's dad was like, yo, I need something to do for my son, and I branded this whole company called Shred and Sew for it. Matt, because he was on board with the store, I got Matt to buy into it. Somehow Jeff bought into the brand against my advice.
I honestly just wanted something to tell my mom that I was
That
doing,
it-
because like
instead
I was
of-
making money,
instead
I was
of
living this life,
heroin.
and I had no way to show
I'm
like,
with
hey,
it.
ma, I'm making clothes. You know,
So we do this whole thing, and so it comes in two steps. The first time we bring this brand out is at Project or Magic or whatever it is. And Jeff and I were like, we want to do a party because we don't want to be the little homies, we want to be the big homies,
Right.
but we don't have the money. Matt at this point I think is financially doing better than us, but isn't really in the mix at that point. Jeff can't show his money, and I'm
never
just,
in the mix.
I'm trying to like just be alive. So Jeff and I decide all these other fucking brands are doing these $1 million parties with Chris Brown and all these fucking people. Somehow we have this escort who's not really an escort, but she's an escort somehow, and she's not there to fuck. She's there with like one of these like really terrible brands. But Cody was in the room, and we're like, let's do a wedding. Cody's like, I'll marry her, and he's like drooling. My Instagram is really popping at the time, and I'm like, let's do a wedding because we can't afford to do one of these parties. We need some presents. So we put up this flyer, all of us, and we do a wedding. And we go to a Vegas chapel, but we pick up this like corny ass SUV limo. On the way to this wedding that we've put out this flyer, we don't even know if people are going to show up. Jeff makes it stop because he sees somewhere on the strip there's people who are playing with fire, like fire slingers. You know?
oh,
You
we
heard that
hired
shit?
them to come, right?
Not we. You hired. So we go to. So Jeff hires these fire slingers.
We
go
needed
to
them
this thing,
for
of
this.
course. Obviously. So we go to this chapel. There's cockroaches everywhere,
Ew.
like absolutely everywhere. And we go into this chapel, and they're like, so you know, you want Elvis, I think, or James Brown, and we're like, yeah, we're in Vegas, we want Elvis, obviously. So we hire Elvis to marry Cody and this escort. Elvis. Yeah, Elvis. Elvis. You know who Elvis is, Dan?
Was he alive or not?
So he wasn't alive, but we got an impersonator, Dan.
Fucking Elvis.
Okay. Fucking Dan.
You don't know
This
Elvis impersonators in
gross
Vegas? It's like,
motherfucker.
Oh, I just thought.
So Jeff and I go in to settle the financials of this whole thing, and we walk out of the chapel, or because we're doing this outside, and there's not just us. There's a lot of people. There's a lot.
because you Instagram story
because I Instagrammed
yeah.
it, and I had like one of the.
And at the time, it was like you had like 80K or something, which was insane to me. I was just like so
Yeah, it was-
excited to get on your Instagram post or something like that.
Yeah, it was big at
And
the time.
you got all these people to show up from your 80K.
From all around the world on top of it. So now we have a full fucking wedding. We sponsored by Ciroc at some chapel. Can you hear this, by the way? The wind?
We just got hit with a nice gust. Look, we'll work out the kinks. This is the first episode of Yachtcast.
Shout out to her.
Victoria.
Victoria.
Victoria has beautiful hair.
You have nothing to do with this story, but we love you. So come in here and say hello to the people. This is Victoria.
Victoria, you're blocking the main host cam, but I don't even care.
It's okay,
It's so
because
lovely to
you're
meet you.
lovely.
And your hair is beautiful, and we're gonna do some product shots for the barbershop.
Yeah,
Let's
see.
do it.
And you cut your hair yourself. You cut your,
What you want to know?
Well, we don't really want to know anything. We just want you here because you're prettier than me and Dan.
it helps with viewer
I
retention.
think you're on par with Jeff, but just for our story. So now we have this wedding. So the joke about this is you could take the basic package, which is just like legal in Vegas, but then you have the real package where the baller package where you can actually file the wedding license. So we do this wedding. I think we spent like maybe $3,000 or something, and at that time the 3 G's, well, to me was a lot of money, not to Jeff because he was selling
That's still a lot of money.
illicit
Marijuana?
substances, and Matt
It's legal now, it's fine.
Matt was always making more money than us anyway, so he was irrelevant. I think were you there, Matt?
I came late. I was fucked up.
Yeah,
Matt was-
we took the. I think we picked up the check on that one.
Definitely me. And well, no, not true. Jeff picked up the check because his money was funny and I was working for a living. But we picked up this thing and we did this whole wedding, and then
Cody married a
Cody married
I
to a
cannot
prostitute.
believe that. Is that
Yeah.
real?
Well,
He actually
here's the
married-
best.
Did he actually get papers?
So
He don't
originally
care.
no.
He probably hasn't even
but
checked till this
I
day.
paid to have. I went back into the chapel after we were done, and I actually filed it. So Cody is legally married to an escort in Vegas.
Still to this day.
To this day, he's married. And fast forward, I get this TV show opportunity where Jeff and Cody completely fuck it up. Okay? Like, completely fuck it up. It was like we had a full crew, whole shit, and we want to reenact this whole wedding. In this whole thing, as we're transferring from Montreal to whatever city to go to Vegas, at the transfer city, we see the escort. And we haven't seen this escort since the wedding, and she's legally married to Cody. And I'm like, hey, we're filming a TV show. Will you get married again? And of course, the fucking escort. She's like, great. So this fucking girl is going to get married twice to us, and we have this whole thing. So we do this whole other wedding again, except the second wedding where they show up late, and I almost have a fight with them because they showed up late, because it was a real opportunity, and they fucked it up. And like wrote them into the sizzle reel, the whole thing. So this is the second reality show that Jeff and I do not get. Okay? Just yeah, do not exactly. I think at least the first one Jeff was fucking, but this one we do not get because they have fucked up.
I was a fuck up, Steven.
It
I
was a
told
fuck
you. I
up.
came a long way.
But at this time,
You met me at a good time in my life. This is the good me.
Dan,
rough.
you're at a real spot in life. But the second time, I lean over to the production company. I'm like, yo, the bill is like $2,000 or $3,000, and this time we can't get Elvis. We have James Brown. So and not the real James Brown.
I don't know who that is.
Are you serious?
This is what I deal with here.
Dude.
See, it gets me so frustrated because every time
You
I
know who
bring up a
James Brown
movie,
is?
a
You're
historical
a
figure,
redheaded prick. You don't know.
he doesn't know. All he knows is TikTokers.
So now I lean over to the production company, and I'm like, yo, we got to pay this bill. And they're like, pay a bill? Like, I thought you were going to pay a bill. That better be Pitbull. Honestly, that better be Pitbull on that bill.
Mr. 305, welcome to Jeff
Shut
FM.
the fuck up! So
Oh,
now...
is he Mr. Worldwide now?
Yeah, he's pretty worldwide. Have you seen his penis then?
No, I'm actually so curious.
Let me.
I'm serious. Like,
Damn. Now you're
I
curious.
haven't seen
Dan.
any other
Good for
penises.
you,
and I
curious
share them
Dan.
on all the time.
Great.
Want to see my penis?
Sure.
I did no.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
you don't need
Steven.
it.
Wait, hold on.
It's
But
very
just
small.
lay it
He
on
gave-
Matt.
Bro,
Yeah,
it's
he
really
gave-
small. Do you want to see it?
All right,
gave
yeah.
consent.
It's mini. It's
Here, Matt,
touch
look
me.
at this.
Listen,
Don't touch me.
You're
Take
about to
over,
see his
Adam.
Don't
dick.
touch me. Don't touch me.
You're about to see his dick.
He gave
Matt.
consent.
Do you want to see it? 2.
Look at
It's really small. It's like a baby penis.
Matt.
Look.
Look at it.
Matt,
Look at my penis.
You saw
It's
me.
two colors. It's two
I
different
have, I have a
colors.
mini penis.
You know,
I
I
think
told
it-
him we're not doing this on the podcast. And we're showing dicks, and he
it-
interrupts the story and shows his dick.
It takes a lot of confidence, though. I fucking applaud that.
Yeah.
No,
Shout out
seriously.
to you.
It's big.
No, yeah, but you know, it doesn't matter.
Respect
No,
for
it
not
does.
looking at it. You know, Corey got the whole show.
Can't really.
Corey, look.
It's always good for a show.
Yeah.
Jeff fucks this whole thing up where we have this company that's paying for it. I'm at a wedding in a bulletproof vest, partially for fashion, partially because I think I'm going to get shot. The production company says, they're like, Jeff didn't show up. We're not paying for this. And I'm like, fuck. So what's the solution to it? I look at everyone and I'm like, run. And so we all ditched.
That's when I arrived.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
we all ditched this fucking wedding where we're freaking out. And so fast forward to the next day, we get a call from this chapel, and the chapel's like, excuse me, Mr. Shapiro. I'm like, nah, I've never heard of him. Yo, you owe us, X, Y, and Z. And I was like, owe you money for what? They're like, for James Brown for doing the wedding. I'm like, ma'am, are you on drugs? I'm like, James Brown's been dead for years. She's like, what? I'm like, is this a fucking prank call? Like, James Brown's been dead for years and married. We're not married.
This is not adding up, man.
Anyway, so we ran away from this thing. We never got it. I think I'm still a felon in Nevada because of it. But so that's where Jeff goes. And so now you go into Jeff's hotel room, and Jeff doesn't only want to be like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Jeff wants his hotel rooms to be like that. So Jeff doesn't get the small hotel rooms like I get and get all my staff crammed in like fucking sardines. Jeff gets the big hotel rooms and makes a point.
Oh, so this is where you learned it from.
Dude, Jeff's hotel rooms would come in, and the only thing that was missing was dead bodies. They would like slice the couches.
Damn.
It was Cody would be there just in a corner like
Disgusting.
Like,
Yeah.
And you're like, yo, Cody, there's no one else here, bro. What are you mad about? In a corner. Jeff would be, God knows, the fucking dog. Nerf
was eating steaks. He was eating room service.
Humping
he would get filet
fucking
mignon,
pillows.
put porterhouses or a big
jerking
tomahawk.
his fucking self off
Falling in
everywhere.
there.
And this is what I would have to
Lived a
walk
good life.
into every day with these pricks.
Well, I think the moral of the story here is we've all come a long way, and we meet again here.
No, I've been on a consistent path.
To
You've
restart-
come a long way.
Me?
Jeff has turned from he's Jeff Zilla
That's good.
2000 to American Jeff to just Jeff.
To just Jeff, yeah.
Just Jeff.
It's a period.
And we're
well,
very
there's
proud.
Jeff Whittick Inc., there's Jeff's Barbershop, there's Jeff FM, there's Jeff Whittick Studios,
Like-
Jeff's Barbershop Productions. We
Jeff's
make
Bank.
documentaries. There's also Jeff's Bank. We do we're
Shark
starting
loans.
our own coin.
Like,
No
and
way.
sort of you could pay for haircuts in my coins.
Oh
So
my
If you
God,
want
that's
someone
all
to
your
short
money
your
to
coin,
me.
I'll never buy
You
that.
give me all of your funds, and then you can use my coin to pay for haircuts in the future. And yeah, there's a lot of businesses that
TikTok.
are surrounding Jeff Industries
Right,
now.
are we going to do glasses?
I like to look a little silly now. I like to look like an NFT, like with the sport glasses on. I like to look fast.
Can you
So-
stop flexing your muscles at me when you say shit like that?
I'm
It's
not.
fucking
What are you
weird.
making me feel like
Bro,
Jordan Belfort?
every time
Ain't
you're
flexing
talking to me
muscles,
about that,
Jordan.
you're like popping a
They
titty.
just flex. There's no fat on my body. Shut
I'm
the fuck
talking to
up.
you and you're like flexing. Hold on.
You gonna throw up?
Oh, yeah, please do it. Yeah.
There we go.
You've got to show me love.
Yeah.
All right, now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, Corey, you look great.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Jeff.
Body by the
I
God.
just don't
Your
want to
hard
stand
work
next
is
to you.
not going unnoticed.
Have you gotten a measure?
Yeah, I got measured. I'm 6% body fat. Yes.
Okay.
6% body fat.
You're a-
What's it? What is it? It's the boat conductor. What do they call him? The captain. Can you get the captain to take his shirt off so I feel better about myself?
Bro, you better give him $100 tip. He ain't doing that for
All
no.
right, let's sign
no
this
fees.
baby off.
He's part of my tribe.
I get that, but you gotta pay to play, baby.
No,
Let's
dude.
sign this baby off. We are here in Miami for Formula One.
Yes.
It's a big weekend here in Miami, but every
Yes.
weekend's a big weekend here in Miami.
It
It's
is.
very distracting. It's hard to
Yeah.
get work done. It's nice if you are able to sell businesses and have tons of money to sit on in your 30s and retire early like Matt. But we are here to work and network,
29.
and we are on fire. New barbershops coming soon.
Yes.
New products. This deodorant will be out soon. Maybe
New
even
glasses.
potentially, if Corey remembers this conversation
By-
tomorrow, we will have glasses
Fully
coming out.
sober. Just so you know, we are going to get Jeff to sign a contract for this because every time we have this is the same.
How much money we
way
talking, Jeff?
that this
I don't know.
happened with
a
the
lot.
barbershop.
Yeah.
So I
Like
go
a
home
lot.
and I spend $1.2 million on a barbershop, and Jeff's like, oh,
And the
Can't-
fact that he's even
can't
here
show up.
considering doing business with me again
Can't show
is
up, but I love
incredible.
Jeff.
Thank you guys for allowing me to do this. It was great to make amends again and
so happy to
start
have
new
you here.
Shake his
businesses.
hand.
shake
Or
who's
if
hand?
you want.
What's wrong with this fucking prick?
We just want to get this on camera.
What the fuck is
We
wrong?
are even.
What the fuck?
We are
is-
even.
What the
Yes.
fuck? We were never not even. Yo,
And we're back in Miami. We made amends
Yo,
with
can I-
everyone now.
where did you fucking find this prick?
Let's not get into that. We're
Maryland.
doing business together and we're
Maryland.
starting right
it's
away.
not even a real place.
Victoria, let's get to it.